Are local card shops intentionally trying to destroy your Pokemon investments in 2023? Let's take a look. Alright guys, this is one of them videos that I've probably tried to sit down about 3-4 times now and do, and I'm just gonna get it done. I'm a little bit clearer thoughts on than I was on the first few that I tried to do, and it's a good thing because that way we can really have a good discussion. And if you'd like, I'd like to continue this discussion over in Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord, hit the link down below. I definitely would like to talk about this a little bit more if people want to have a discussion. I'd rather have a discussion and talk about this than actually just start a fighting match in the comments of YouTube. Granted, sometimes the comments are good, but I don't want to start a feud or a big battle on the comment section of this. I would rather do it in a more live setting, a more discussionary type than actually just blatantly in the comments trying to catch them here and there. So maybe what we'll do is, if you'd like, let me know in the comments below. Should we open up a live on Discord and have a discussion about these things and go forward with it? So with that being said, this might trigger a few of you. I understand that, but this is something that needs to be discussed because to me, what was said in a certain video here on Thursday is very disconcerting from a YouTube Pokemon investment personality. To me, it shows a lot of misinformation and a lot of lack of knowledge in the total Pokemon IP and how the operation of Pokemon works and why certain places are looking for the reprints to happen. Overall, when it comes down to the investment side of things, and I'm just going to talk about this first, nothing really surprises me when it comes down to the Pokemon market. Now, as I've said before, I'm a very conservative investor. I'm always trying to move a couple steps ahead, but in a conservative way to where I protect myself and protect my bottom line. I don't want to have a lot of money sitting on shelves hoping for the best. I will try and get rid of that cost basis as much as I can and put it back into circulation or back into rotation to purchase the next item, the next thing, while continuing to build a portfolio on the back. That's just my technique. Everybody has different techniques. As it goes for the market, I'm not really ever surprised by the way that a market really functions. I mean, it'd have to really tank, or it'd really have to go back to a Logan Paul boom at this point in the Pokemon market to completely surprise me at the end of the day. We have a lot of new people. We have a lot of new faces, a lot of new energy inside of this hobby, and a lot of new people really excited about the Pokemon TCG, which is a new thing that we've never had. Now, I'm not really going to sit there and say that I'm mystified or ever really surprised by these things, but the one thing that I know most investment channels, at least like myself, that are on the conservative side of Pokemon investment, we treat it like it's an expendable format. We treat it like it's something that is a side deal. We spend money that's expendable. We don't care if we lose it. If I lost all my money in Pokemon, I would still enjoy having the stuff around. It really wouldn't hurt my feelings in any way, shape, or form to keep this Pokemon stuff around. But when it comes down to it, we talk about a major thing in the Pokemon in any market is catalysts. I know a lot of people hear the term catalysts in a market, and if you're into marketing or if you've been around an actual stock market, bond market, any kind of collectible market, we talk about catalysts. Now let's take a look at what we're actually discussing on these points. Now, we're not really surprised that the market is. We may be surprised by the catalyst itself. Why is this catalyst here? What is causing it? And how long will it last? Those are really the three things that are very important that we need to discuss. So, and the reason we need to discuss these things and really be surprised, like now, the lack of product is actually surprising considering the amount of Charizard UPCs that were just printed and the amount of product that we were seeing before, and now all of a sudden we can't get product again. Why is it happening? What is causing this catalyst in this market to cause the pricing to continue to go up? And that's what we really need to look at. And the other question you always have to look at with a catalyst, and what's the important part of it? How far will it push the market, number two, and how long will it last is the third thing. If a catalyst is a short-lived catalyst, yes, you may see that little bit of a bump and then you see a correction. If you see a large catalyst, you'll see a bigger bump, you'll see a little bit of a correction, but it probably won't go back down to its original price. You've created a new base point to move up on a typical good catalyst in the market. Now, the question is a product shortage going to be a good catalyst to be investing large amount of money in the booster boxes and the products Or is it a short-term catalyst on which it can be completely reversed or pushed below? We could get a reverse catalyst on it, and which means we're going to get a ton of product, and it's going to push that product price all the way down, possibly below even the distributor pricing, which we have seen in the past on some products at the end of the day. These are all things that we question, we discuss, and we talk about at the end of the day. That's the more surprising thing to it, more than the market performing the way it is. And as you notice on this channel, we've talked about the shortages and what effect that is having on LGSs, on the investor, on the collector, on the tournament player, even just to be sure that we are covering all the bases and give you a good knowledge of why is it happening and how long will it last and what are the repercussions once it ends. And these are all things that you need to consider when it comes down to the actual market of anything at the end of the day. And that's where the more surprise comes from, is those catalysts and what's causing those, than what the actual market itself is doing. It's a good thing to see the market continue to move up. It's surprising at the end of the day, considering the performance of our macro market, what's happening in the US market, and how much it's not affecting the Pokemon TCG, but actually seems to be helping it some, which is a complete reverse from where most of us would go at the end of the day when we talk about how markets are performing. So that's one of the things I wanted to cover and really discuss with you guys is that it's not that as an investor we're surprised by the market going up or the booster boxes going up in price. We're more interested on what's causing it and how long that cause and will be there, and what will be the effects at the end of the day, and how long until those effects take place. So just so you know, that's basically what we're looking for at the end of the day. Now, the second thing that I want to sit here and discuss that was brought up in this video is LGSs destroying your Pokemon investments in 2023, and that their only intention is to destroy that, to get rid of your investment potential and your growth that you've had. And let's talk about that. This is what infuriated me and really angered me is when I heard that is that this is coming from someone who supposedly knows investments. But if you know the Pokemon IP and you know the main cogs and the gears of how the Pokemon IP operates, you know how important an LGS is at the end of the day. Not only is it a source to purchase Pokemon products, it's a source for networking. It's a source for community. It's a source for tournaments and growth in the hobby. It's a place for people under the ages of 16, that can't really drive and have no mobility to meet and play and discuss and open cards and potentially begin their collecting careers, join the tournaments and get into their actual TCG careers, whether it's in Magic, Flesh and Blood, Final Fantasy, going into Digimon or Pokemon. These are all places that they can go and grow and learn. And if we lose these sources, it is a complete and total devastating loss to the Pokemon IP. Losing even half of the LGSs at this point would be very detrimental, because even myself, there's only 2 of them within about a 3-hour drive of my house. It's not like I have a lot of options. And for me to lose even one of those LGSs would be a big hindrance to, number one, the community, the overall growth, and of course, the growth of your investments. You lose these places, you lose the amount of the availability for people to learn about the hobby, learn about TCGs, learn about Pokemon, and at the end of the day, that's very detrimental to your investment. You need them, you must have them, they're great to have, and I have a great relationship with both of the LGSs that are in driving distance of my house. I've intentionally made myself part of their discussions. I go there quite often, intentionally to have discussions with them, find out how stable the market is, find out how they're doing on product, find out availability on product, and in return, because I've helped them out, they help me out in my investment side, which is another benefit to an LGS, is they can help you on your investment journey, because guys, they want to help. They want you to be prosperous, but on the other hand, they want you to be prosperous and they want to be prosperous also. So if they're giving me product at a really reasonable price or discounted price because they're trying to help me, they are looking for the same thing from their distributors. Now, personally, I just gave up all of my Scarlet and Violet back to my LGS. We've been in the agreement for about 1.5 years now that I get at least 2 cases of product from them from every set to put away for my sealed investment. I've done that now ever since the whole just smattering of product that we had back in early October of 2021. I purchased a bunch of product at that point. I helped them out. I got them out of a bind. They needed capital to run, cash and capital, and I purchased as much as I could to help them recoup some of that money. And in return, the LGS owner has, of course, given me 2 boxes of whatever the newest set is at his cost or slightly above it, maybe $1 or $2 just to make a little bit of money, which I don't blame. But with the current cutbacks on product, I just talked to him about 2 weeks ago after I talked with Mason and found out that this was a systematic 40% drop in product. And I have returned the 2 boxes to him. I am not taking them. I'm just taking 2 booster boxes, not 2 cases. That's to help him out because he only got 58 boxes, booster boxes, when he wanted over 100. And thus, I'm trying to help him out once again by getting him what he needs for the people in his community and at his store. So once again, guys, these are the things that are very important. Now, they have no ill will to you. They are begging for reprints because, number one, and LGS has several different issues that they're looking at. Number one, they got to keep the lights on, guys. They got to pay the electric bill. They got to pay the rent. They got to pay insurances for the damages to the building in case someone breaks in or if someone gets hurt in the building. They have to cover workman's comp. They got to pay employees. They got to pay for gas. They got to pay for water. They got to pay for all these things. And hopefully at the end of the day, they can bring some money home to them. They want to bring home money too to be able to pay for their expenses at home and for their family. So at the end of the day, they're not trying to make a huge amount of money. Even myself as an HVAC tech, if I lost my availability to buy product at wholesale pricing, it would be a huge hit to my bottom line. And I could do it for a little bit, but I could not do it for a long period of time before I would have to close my doors also. Losing that income stream is huge. They have had an issue with losing multiple income streams. Magic not performing as well due to the Hasbro's actions. Fact that Amazon has the products of every new set at distribution cost or less within 2 to 3 weeks after release of a product is just a huge hit to them. Then on top of it, you have got to take into account that you have Pokemon, which they can't get product. Their only saving grace right now is that Flesh and Blood and some of these other TCGs are stepping up. Magic is dropping because people are mad. They're moving to Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood is actually moving up. My LGS is saying Flesh and Blood is helping keeping them afloat along with the overall sales of food and drinks that they now offer in their LGS in order to continue to keep the tournaments going, keep the tournaments lively, and keep the tournaments performing. So they have no ill intent. Fusion Strike at $130 is a detriment to them because it's a playable deck. People are looking for cards for the actual tournament play of that particular set. It's a actual Mew deck. Mew deck is used quite often. It's still in the actual top 3 decks from Worlds. That's why that set's very important and why they're crying for reprints on those is because they can't get it from distributors. They can't get booster boxes or ETBs of pretty much any set right now. It sounds like Brilliant Stars is the only thing that's left at most distributors. That is not enough to keep an LGS going at the end of the day. The fact that a content creator is thinking that these people are taking it and trying to make 50 to 60% profit on a booster box is absolutely absurd. They just need product. They need product at that wholesale price to be able to compete with the market. Most of our distributors, or most of our, I shouldn't say distributors, but most of our LGSs typically sell product for way under whatever the market is. Mine usually sell a booster box at $120 to $125. When it comes down to these multiple waves, now it's about 86. Yeah, they're trying to make about $30, $40 a box. Don't get me wrong, that's not a bad price considering Walmart right now is making probably more than they are per pack, selling them at $4.50. And at the end of the day, they need that in order to be able to keep those lights on. And guys, support your LGSs. Don't be beating them to death thinking they're trying to take your Pokemon investments away. They are helping you. They are growing a community. They are networking through a community, and they are growing your investments at the end of the day. So please consider that when you're looking at this. Once again, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to throw them out there. I don't go after people directly, and I don't like the drama. But sometimes some things need to be corrected. What was said in that video was absolute garbage. It's stupid, it's irresponsible, and it shows someone that does not understand investing and does not understand the Pokemon IP at the end of the day and does not understand how it operates and how the importance of that particular cog in the Pokemon investing spectrum. So once again, guys, hopefully this is clearing things up. I know I'm venting a little bit, and that was the intention of this video, and that's why I took my time to be sure I kind of laid all the ducks out in a row before I went in on this. But once again, guys, this is important information to remember. It needs to have a counter because LGSs are not enemies. They're friends. They're important to you. They're important to me. And they're important to the overall performance of the Pokemon TCG at the end of the day. So help them stay alive. Don't get mad at them because they're asking for reprints. Yes, it may hurt our bottom line, but at the end of the day, if that set's performing that well and they get their reprint and they get the product they need, it's going to come back and we're going to be doing well again in a few more months or a year down the road. So overall, guys, hopefully some good information. If it was, of course, be sure you hit that subscribe and the like button if you made it this far into the video. Also, if you do like this kind of information and want to continue to watch this, check out these 2 videos over here. I will put them up for you afterwards. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.